So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have a very strong feeling that I'll be.
Jon Jones just did something nobody saw coming. And it's not about another fight. It's about the White House.
Like a Sean Strickland, or like a, I mean, I could be wrong, but like, I don't know, bro.
But you know that, like, I
Jon
feel like,
Jones Aspinall.
but I feel like Dana gained so much leverage after that, because like, Conor McGregor doesn't want to miss that. Jon Jones posted he doesn't want to, like, he joined the test.
He plans to host a historic event at
The most dominant fighter in MMA history is now laser focused on competing at what could be the biggest UFC event ever held. And Dana White just gave him 1,000,000,000 odds of making it happen. But Jones doesn't care. He's back in the testing pool, training harder than ever, and teaming up with the most terrifying middleweight on the planet to prove everyone wrong.
I watched you do an interview. You spoke so highly, so respectful of Jon Jones, calling him the GOAT. People are already looking at you as probably one of the greatest to ever do it, and you're so young in your career. Do you feel Jon Jones is the GOAT of the UFC?
Of course, he is a GOAT of MMA, bro. If somebody could be a king of MMA, he's a king of MMA. So that guy is such a good guy and a crazy fighter. And I like to watch his fights, and I like to watch his eyes. How special he is. You know, he wanna fight. If it's going bad for him, I don't know, some way he work out there with the win there. You know, so he's special guy in MMA. And we can't say this guy is MMA. You know, he's legend. Happy to see him finish now, undefeated. I hope he never come back.
So let's break down what's actually happening here. The UFC is planning to host a historic event at the White House in 2026. Not near the White House, at the actual White House. This has never been done before in combat sports history, and every major name in the UFC is scrambling to get on that card. Because whoever fights on those White House grounds isn't just competing, they're cementing their legacy forever.
Said that you are the scariest guy in MMA.
That's a huge compliment coming from Khamzat. I'm a big fan of Khamzat. I don't think he has any reason to toot my horn or to even be humbled. He doesn't have to be. I mean, heavyweights fear him, and the fact that he has so much respect for me really means a lot. It shows me a lot about his character, his humility to be able to compliment someone in such a huge way. So I'm very grateful and honored.
Jones announced his retirement earlier this year, and everyone thought that was it. But the moment this White House event got announced, something changed. Jones saw an opportunity too massive to ignore, and now he's completely reversed course on retirement. Here's where it gets absolutely wild. Jones isn't just training to get back in shape. He's specifically been working with Khamzat Chimaev, the newly crowned UFC middleweight champion, who just put on one of the most dominant title performances we've ever seen at UFC 319.
Team opponent. I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, no, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. Be only fitting to have an American guy fight for the championship that night. I'd be willing to put it all on the line.
Nice.
Chimaev controlled his opponent for 9 minutes and 40 seconds out of a 25-minute fight. That's complete and total domination. And Jones watched that performance and immediately reached out. The two have been training together recently, and Jones has made it crystal clear that he wants Chimaev in his corner for this potential comeback. Jones, who's already considered one of the most technically perfect fighters ever, is now adding Chimaev's relentless pressure style to his arsenal. That's terrifying for anyone who might face him. But here's the kicker. Dana White is not having it at all. When asked about Jones headlining the White House card, Dana literally said Jones has a 1 in a billion chance of making it happen. 1 in a billion. That's not just doubt. That's basically saying it's impossible. And White has his reasons. Jones's career has been plagued by controversies.
Been so much speculation about the White House card. I've seen a lot, obviously, what you said recently to Jim Rome. Just wondered, at this point, is there anything in the next few months or several months that John could do where you could say, okay, I actually trust him to put him on that card?
Let me ask you, what do you think John would do in the next couple of months that would make me trust putting him on the White House card?
Well, I would not trust him, but I would like to see him fight Aspinall on that card down the road.
So I already said that I don't trust him, and you're asking me what could he do for me to trust him in the next 3 months. You don't trust him.
Well, yes, but you talk to him. I don't.
Yeah. No, I don't talk to him either. I haven't talked to him at all.
Well, there's a greater chance you'll talk to him than I'll talk to him.
Yeah. I would not bet on, if I had to make odds, it's 1,000,000,000 to 1 that I put John Jones on the White House card.
Failed drug tests, legal issues, injuries that derailed major fights. Dana's running the biggest event in UFC history on White House grounds, with the eyes of the entire world watching, and he's thinking about the risk. What if Jones fails another test? The embarrassment would be catastrophic. So in Dana's mind, putting Jones in that spotlight is just too dangerous. Now listen to this part. Most fighters would hear 1 in a billion and give up. Not Jones. He took that as motivation. He's back in the UFC's anti-doping testing pool, which means he's officially eligible to compete again.
Said everyone's trying to get on it. Who are the sort of people blowing up your phone trying to get on?
Well, I mean, everybody wants to be on this card. I mean, you don't even have to know who's blowing up my phone. You can just see it all on the internet. But, you know, the fight's a year away, so the landscape will change a lot over the next year.
I saw you say to the Nelt boys that you want to make it like a badass card and stuff like that. Are we talking a couple of title fights? Are we talking?
Yeah, it'll be a pay-per-view card.
But like UFC 300 level, or you think it'll just depend on what you can do?
The best card we could possibly put together.
Is there a chance you do Conor and John on the same card?
I don't know. I mean, in a year, who knows what the world will look like in a year?
Is it? So obviously, look, this is still to be planned, but logistically, I saw you say you want the White House on one side, the monument on the other.
That's what it'll be. We're going to be on the South Lawn, and literally when you're watching the fight, this will all be the White House here, and then behind me will be, you know, the Washington Monument.
He's training like he's 25 years old, and he's been posting about his preparations, making it clear that he's not backing down from this challenge. That's the same confidence that made Jones the most dominant champion in UFC history. He's faced impossible odds before, whether it was fighting legends on short notice or coming back from suspensions that would have ended other careers. And every single time, he's proven the doubters wrong. But wait, it gets worse for Jones. He's not the only one fighting for a spot on this card. Conor McGregor, the biggest star in UFC history, also wants in. And here's the brutal reality.
Tired. I felt like I've done it all in the MMA space. There wasn't too many more challenges for me. I just wanted to do something more than championships and money. Donald Trump mentioned that he wanted to have a fight at the White House. That just seems like such a huge opportunity. I'm a very proud American. I have a lot of close friends that are in the military, so I'm back.
Dana White trusts McGregor way more than he trusts Jones right now. McGregor hasn't fought in 4 years, but White has openly said he has more faith in Conor showing up and delivering than he does in Jones. That's gotta sting. Because McGregor's the golden boy, the moneymaker, the guy who can sell a fight just by opening his mouth. So even though Jones is arguably the better fighter, he's playing second fiddle to McGregor in Dana's eyes when it comes to this White House opportunity. And get this, Michael Chandler is also in the mix. Chandler's been waiting forever to fight McGregor, and he's made it clear that he wants that fight to happen at the White House. So now you've got 3 massive names, Jones, McGregor, and Chandler.
My opinion, I'm planning to go to the White House next year.
All competing for limited spots on what might be the most prestigious fight card ever assembled. The competition isn't just in the octagon anymore. It's happening right now, behind the scenes, as these fighters try to convince Dana White and the UFC brass that they deserve to be there. Hold up. The UFC hasn't even started planning matchups yet. Dana White said they won't begin serious discussions about who fights who until after January 2026. So all of this, Jones training with Chimaev, McGregor posting workout videos, Chandler calling people out, it's all happening before the UFC has even decided who's getting on the card. That's how badly these fighters want this opportunity. They're preparing now, putting in the work now because they know that when the time comes to make decisions, Dana's going to look at who's ready and who's just talking. Here's the thing nobody's talking about, though. This White House event isn't just about fighting. It's about politics. It's about optics. It's about representing the UFC on the biggest stage imaginable. And that's where Jones's past becomes such a massive liability. The UFC can't afford any controversies at the White House. They can't afford failed drug tests or legal drama. So every decision Dana White makes about this card is going to be filtered through that lens. Is this fighter reliable? Can we trust them not to create problems? And for Jones, the answer to those questions has historically been complicated. But here's what makes this entire situation so fascinating. Jones has never been someone who backs down from challenges. His entire career has been defined by proving people wrong. When everyone said he was too young to beat Shogun Rua for the title, he destroyed him. When people said he couldn't beat Daniel Cormier, he beat him twice. When they said his career was over after his suspensions, he came back and won the heavyweight title. So betting against Jon Jones has historically been a losing proposition. And right now, everyone's betting against him getting on this White House card. But Jones is doing exactly what he's always done. He's ignoring the noise and working. So there you have it. Jon Jones is training harder than ever, teaming up with the most dominant middleweight in the UFC, and fighting for a 1 in a billion shot at competing on the biggest card in combat sports history. Dana White doesn't think it's going to happen. Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler are competing for the same spots, but Jones doesn't care about the odds. He never has. And honestly, I think we're watching one of the greatest fighters of all time make one final push to cement his legacy in a way nobody thought possible. So here's my question for you. Drop it in the comments. Do you think Jon Jones actually makes it onto the White House card? Or is Dana White right that it's a 1,000,000,000 shot? If this breakdown helped you understand what's really happening, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell because this story is just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.